Hello everyone, this is Kathy White with lifestylelocator.ca here in beautiful Whistler, BC, just north of Vancouver. And it's my pleasure today to be introducing you to Mark Sturgess with 4Front Mortgages. And I'm just going to turn the screen so we can have a conversation with him today. This is early spring 2020. We are in the midst of COVID-19, and we are working through that all together with the government and the health authorities to bring you to a new lifestyle up here in the Whistler corridor or throughout British Columbia and Canada. We look forward to meeting you online and in the future in person. Hello everyone, this is Kathy White with Lifestyle Locator. It's my pleasure now to introduce Mark Sturgess from 4Front Mortgages. And Mark, the questions that we go through together on Lifestyle Locator is about three things that we should know about you.
Okay, so firstly, thank you for taking the time to talk to me. Three things to know about me. Well, where am I from? I'm from the UK, lived in what we call the West Country down there, in a small village called Avebury, which has an ancient stone circle that's about 3,000 years old. Has sheep and cattle walking around it, but it's fun to see. I was, however, a mortgage broker there for about 13 years, dealing with everybody from first-time buyers to more mature clients who are looking to retire and take money out of their properties or pass on to their children to help them develop their lives and careers. I enjoy, obviously, a lot of sports here you do, skiing, biking, hiking, etc. I also enjoy reading a book by the fire in winter.
Super. And when you were making the move to come here to Whistler, I eventually moved here from Vancouver Island about 5 years ago to join Engel and Völkers in Whistler as a licensed realtor to help people find their future lifestyle here and investment properties. What brought you to Whistler with your family?
Well, not everybody gets the opportunity to grow up here, and some people have to search out this wonderland, and I always wanted to live in the mountains. So when I had my son 7 years ago, I sort of figured that was the time to start looking. So looking around the world, looking around ski resorts and places to live in mountains, there actually aren't very many that give you location, culture, all the sports and activities, along with shops, libraries, hospitals, schools, etc. for normal living. So Whistler became our first choice fairly quickly on that aspect.
Super. And thanks for letting us know that. From your business perspective as a mortgage broker here working in Whistler and able to do mortgages across British Columbia and across Canada, maybe you could share with us some of your business projects that you would like to highlight.
Okay, well, in the current climate, there's obviously a lot of concern about cash flow and people's finances. So we're focusing on trying to protect people's lifestyles, people's just basic ability to live day to day at the moment, but making sure it builds into future plans. So a number of things. First one is the line of credit you can get through various mortgage lenders. You could potentially, with your own lender, you may need to move to a new lender. But this will give you access to funds, should you need them, that are only payable, you only pay interest on them if you take them. And you can use them to help yourself, to help your business, to help your children, effectively for whatever you want. Second one is there's something called a chip reverse mortgage, which is what it says. It's a reverse mortgage. The lender will give you the money today and you will not pay a monthly premium, you will not pay the capital back until such a time that is right for you. And that can be used for more mature people who are looking to take money out of a property that they may have unencumbered. They can use it to improve their lifestyle. They can use it to help their children, once again, build businesses, save businesses today, or even to take advantage of the property market and use it for a deposit. So that's the second one. And the last one is, Whistler is, if you move here, you'll quickly become aware it's renowned for its various zoning laws and myriad of complex rules. One of which is called Phase 1. These are the people where people rent a property to tourist guests. The problem is nobody wants them to be empty, and therefore they often don't get renovated very often. Now is an ideal time to do that. You've got no guests, so you're not losing guests. Contractors aren't currently working, so therefore they're free to actually complete projects and at probably a good negotiable price. You can therefore release equity, create a line of credit, whichever suits yourself, get these renovations done so that when the market reopens, you are now top of the tree with an A1 property.
Perfect. And aside from our work life up here in Whistler, sometimes we get to enjoy reading a book. And often I have a goal of reading 2 books a month, one for personal enjoyment and one related to work. And Mark, would you mind sharing with us what is the favorite book you've been reading lately?
Well, I tend to do that as well. I tend to switch. I do one autobiography, one factual or motivational book, followed by a non-fiction book. So I could talk to you all day long about various non-fiction, Robert Kiyosaki, Tony Robbins, etc. But the book I always turn to over the years that has let me escape in my imagination has been Lord of the Rings and the adventures of Bilbo and Frodo Baggins. So yes, sit down by the fire in winter and let your mind wander.
Super. And as we enjoy the Whistler year-round activities here in our resort, I was just wondering, what are your favorite year-round resort sports to try out?
Gosh, obviously in Whistler there's all your usual, your biking, your skiing, your kayaking, your paddleboarding, etc., etc. There's a few more unusual ones which I wish I've done and have enjoyed. One of which you can do the bobsleigh. You can actually go down the fastest track in the world in a little bobsleigh and basically scare yourself silly, but it's great fun. Other than that, I guess, yeah, I probably just enjoy just meandering through the woods, be it winter or summer.
Super. And often what we ask people is, what is a product that you're rarely without when you're out and about in Whistler?
Well, following on from our tame sports that we do, which are actually fairly dangerous at times, I think it's always sensible to carry a basic first aid kit. So if anything happens, we're not having to call search and rescue and calling them away from something that might be more serious than what's happened to us. So I would say a basic first aid kit is the most important thing.
Super. And, from my perspective too, when I'm out on the slopes, even in the winter or summer, I carry around antihistamine, Benadryl. I carry an EpiPen as I am allergic to wasps. I do encourage people to talk to their medical professionals to make sure that they have adequate medications with them and allergy medications, just in case, you never know. And taking a first aid course is highly recommended as well when going out into the backcountry, hiking or going biking as well, or skiing. So another thing that we like to think about here in Whistler is aging in place. Certainly a wonderful community to enjoy our lives here. And what would you like to be doing, Mark, in about 10 to 20 years from now?
I definitely want to be at least half as active as all of the 70, 75-year-olds that I currently know. I see them skiing down Corwars, biking down rock faces, and hiking various trails. So yes, keep the lifestyle that is almost expected in Whistler.
There's a wonderful film out right now called The Fit Generation, and some of our folks from Whistler are featured on that film. But also you can connect with us through a group that I currently am with, is of course the Whistler Mature Action Community Group. I'm currently their chair, and certainly we in the board and all the members of the Whistler Mature Action Community Group really enjoy all the connections, the social fabric of our community, from volunteering to working and to also enjoying the year-round sports. And to wrap up our presentation today with Mark is to talk about the idea of a life hack. That is an idea that we'd like to share with you. It's kind of a quiet thing that you may want to just keep to yourself as an insider of Whistler. So Mark, what would you like to share?
Shh. Don't tell people I've told you this, but when there's a queue that's an hour and a half long for the Whistler gondola, just step 5 yards to your left, and you'll find a little chairlift called the Fitzsimmons chair. Takes you halfway up the mountain, get off that onto the Garbanzo chair, takes you to the top. Normally at the bottom, there might be 5 or 6 people queuing up. So that's the little Whistler secret.
Thanks so much. It's a pleasure to meet you today, Mark. And as you can see in front of Mark is a package of coffee. And it's my pleasure to have a conversation with you. And this is a local coffee company called Cranked Coffee. And if we get together online or in person or on video conference, and we chat for a while about Whistler real estate, and I can refer you to other realtors around our province and across Canada, I'd like to mail you a package of that delicious looking coffee. And so I'd I'm trying to find ways of connecting with people in our community, and I hope you've enjoyed meeting Mark today. And I'll put up all the websites and links that are going to be helpful to you on my social media accounts. Again, thank you so much, Mark.
Thank you.